You were never given a Bill of Rights. You were never given reparations because they were entitled into the Constitution as a white male.
Yeah, I affirm I am a white male.
Can you name a white abolitionist for me? Could you tell me how many ovaries a woman has? Do you know what this is? So we agree with the condone of rape as well.
Well, no, that's only if you can't read.
We got laughed at, we got ridiculed, we got yelled at, we got shit thrown at us. I love women.
Calm down.
Female rights, I promise.
Calm down, please.
I promise.
What do you think about it?
What do I think about it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's really ironic that every sign that I've seen held is from a white male.
Oh, yeah? Like the color of my skin determines whether or not I can oppose the destruction of my preborn neighbors?
No, I think what's in your pants is actually kind of what determines.
The possession of a penis means I believe in human rights?
No, I mean, I think you can believe in human rights, for sure.
Do you believe in human rights?
Yeah, of course I do, but...
You believe in the rights of this little human?
Do you... Here, can I ask you a couple questions?
Yes.
Okay, this would be great.
Yeah.
So, obviously I'm saying that you could have human rights, but could you tell me a time when, like, white males got civil liberties in, I don't know, either the Constitution, the Bill of Rights? Is there ever a time when you were...
When white males were?
Specifically,
yeah,
like resolutions, right? Not that you just gained it, but
yeah, no,
did you ever gain one?
No, so even the founding documents for this particular country,
Yeah.
You're a horrible human being.
Thank you. The way that it was written was we hold these truths to be self-evident, which is to be acknowledging that they're coming from outside of us. They're not coming from our documents. These truths are self-evident.
So I'm asking about the Bill of Rights, written
Right.
by morals.
Right, but
Did you ever get granted a right? That's all I'm asking.
No
Yes
one's
or no?
granted rights. We have rights as
Okay,
being
so what
human.
was the 14th, 15th, 16th Amendment?
So whenever they decided, you know what, we're being hypocritical and inconsistent. We have not yet given the right to liberty to all humans in this country.
I agree.
They amended the Constitution, which had a few places that were kind of, allowing oppression. And so the framers who said, hey, we're going to found a nation, we're going to acknowledge these inalienable rights, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. These are endowed by the Creator. Then they said, you know what? We have in bondage like millions of people in our population. We are depriving them of liberty. We have to change this. And so abolitionists in that culture rose up. Yes, a lot of them were white males.
Well, the abolitionists weren't white males.
A lot of them were white males,
those
white females,
Yeah,
black
we agree.
males, black
We
females.
agree with
And there's only males and
libertarians.
females. And so
But what I'm asking is, were you ever, from that protest, from that document, granted a right for white males?
No, that document
Yes.
itself
And what-
acknowledged them as self-evident.
Yes, self-evident.
Yeah, so where are you going with
never
it?
Had to fight for rights,
I'm
is what
interested.
saying. You're saying.
Well, people had to fight. So this country was
People
founded
had to
by.
fight for rights.
Yeah, so
Did
white
you, as a
people
white
had to come
male,
to this country to
ever
fight for
gain
rights.
Anything in the Bill of Rights where you had to have reparations?
To have reparations?
Yes, reparations.
No.
Yes.
I don't think so.
And why do you think so?
Well,
A right.
I was born in 1980, so I'm just a guy born in the United States of America.
And I'm a girl
Yeah.
born in 2007.
Yeah,
I'm aware of all
we're
amendments.
super
Are you aware
privileged.
of
We have the right to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We're not
Right, so
deprived of
You were
anything.
never given a Bill of Rights because there was no necessary need
Yeah,
for
I'm interested in where you're going. So
Yes.
go ahead.
Okay, so we can agree you were never given a Bill of Rights. You were never given reparation because there was
Well,
no
reparations
reason
is
for
different. You know what word reparations means, right?
Yes, reparations
Yeah.
is when there's an admission on a group/minority
Okay.
of people,
Okay.
where people either get a benefit as a somewhat apology of that, whether it's financial, economic.
Trying to make it right, trying to
Yes.
rewrite the scales, that sort of
Sure.
thing. Yeah.
Exactly what I just defined. Great. So we agree on the definition of reparations as well. So I'm saying,
Okay.
you as a white male were never given reparations because there was no reason
Yeah.
to have reparations in the first place.
I'm interested in how this connects to
The Constitution
the human rights
has all
thing.
of a white male's rights listed right into it. right?
Okay.
That's why you don't
That's not how the
need any
Constitution is, right? Okay.
Right? The Bill of Rights also has all your rights entailed
Yeah.
into it. There's no question.
It's supposed to be applying to everybody, but
There was
as
no
I acknowledge,
question.
they had
Yeah.
hypocrisy.
Except that's why we had the 14th, 15th, 16th Amendment,
Okay.
where I got my rights, and where he got his rights.
Not where you got your right to life.
Oh, yeah.
It's
yeah.
never been.
Do I have,
It's never been legally permissible to murder someone because they were a woman, for instance. That's never been legal. Like, there's not a law on our books ever at any point in time in this country saying simply by the fact that you're a woman you can be murdered.
But there
are laws saying simply by the fact that you are not yet on the outside of a womb you can be murdered.
But there was laws that said.
There used to be laws prohibiting abortion as murder. Yes.
No, there was laws that prohibited or allowed minority groups to be killed. Gender goes on a separate scale. But
yeah.
like
Okay, I'm tracking
said,
with you. I'm fine with you.
People of any minority group,
Yeah.
specifically
Not necessarily
African American individuals.
Yeah, and abolitionists fought for those rights.
It was legal to kill those individuals.
Yeah, because they.
Otherwise, you would
Yes.
you would be saying that slavery never happened.
Yeah, no, so what it was is that you could kill a slave and the slaveholder would dehumanize them and justify their destruction on account of their race or their country of origin,
Exactly.
or classify them as chattel that had been bought, right? So what would happen is Christians would stand up and say, no, the African slave is every bit an image bearer of God and deserve every bit rights,
So
and
they
you
were allowed
cannot
to
murder
be
them.
killed legally within the United
Right,
States.
and abolitionists, there were people who were allowed to be killed. Abolitionists said this is not right, stood up in their culture where everyone is accepting dehumanization and destruction, and called for the abolition of those unjust laws and cultural practices so that people who were being dehumanized and destroyed would then be brought under the protection of the law. So yeah, I'm tracking with you. This is my whole gig.
Summarize this. We agree
Yes,
that
I'm doing that same thing.
haven't had reparations, haven't had a need for the civil liberty because they were entitled into the Constitution as white male, specifically based on both gender and both race.
Yeah, I
With that
affirm I am
being
a
said,
white male, yes.
Where is your ethos?
My ethos?
Your ethos.
My ethos.
Credibility.
Why do I have to have credibility? So right now, the only human group in our culture that is allowed to be murdered under the color of our laws are preborn humans. So preborn humans can't stand up for themselves, obviously. They're too small, they're too weak, they're too innocent, they can't do it. So born humans have to stand up and say, hey, these humans that our culture dehumanizes and destroys, like our earlier culture dehumanized and destroyed
Since
these
you
humans.
have never had any reparations or fight for rights, you also don't have a uterus and have talked about how we literally had no necessary for you are a white male
because it's not a
necessity.
It's not a necessary.
How can you stand here and say
the same way
something
that
about my body specifically?
I'm not saying anything about your body. Leave your body alone.
These things grow in my.
Oh,
That's my point.
I grew in a woman's body. You grew in a woman's body.
We've agreed. You didn't have a necessary for reparations. Didn't have a necessary. To
I
fight in the
still don't
Constitution
understand what the reparations comes into it, but
because your rights were pre-given to you as a white man.
as are yours.
Yes.
Your rights you have as
Therefore,
a human.
Where is your credibility to be talking about one, anything political, two, something that
Do you want to
doesn't
answer?
grow in your body,
Do you want to answer?
three, in a place where you obviously are too old to be attending school?
Yeah, I've already done the school thing a long time. So the answer is just like a white abolitionist who saw the plight of their.
Can you name a white abolitionist for me?
I can name, I don't know, 100.
Okay.
William Lloyd Garrison, Wendell Phillips, Elijah Lovejoy, James Burney. I'm a historian of the 19th century. I know the names of the abolitionists. I know the white ones, the black ones, the males, the females.
In common as for the white abolitionists?
They believed that human beings were made in the image of God and that you could not treat them as animals. Just like we believe human beings are made in the image of God and you cannot treat them like body parts.
I personally am vegetarian, so if we're killing things that don't have voices,
Well, I
where
said
do you draw the
human,
line?
human beings.
At the line. So dogs, cats, animals, do you draw the line specifically at humans?
We need to be humane towards them because we are image bearers and we ought to have a humane dominion towards animals. But
again,
yes, I, like you, do draw the line between humans and non-humans.
And again, on credibility. if you do have the credibility to be talking about this.
Certainly I do. I'm a human being that's standing up for little human beings that can't stand up for themselves.
And you believe you have the full understanding of this picture. So you'd
Yes.
be able to answer questions that I had about the human body, for example.
Oh, I'm not a physiologist. I can't answer all questions about the human body.
Could you tell me how many ovaries a woman has?
Like what? Hold on a second. Let me ask
Tell
you.
me how many ovaries
If I
a
said
woman
2 ovaries, here the question is does knowledge of
has. We have how many ovaries does a woman have?
how many
It's a very simple question.
how many cells are there in your body right now?
How many cells? They're constantly repopulating.
Right,
It's a
but what's the number right
cell
now?
death.
No, hold on. What's the number right now?
1,000 cells die per minute. 1,000 cells are going to be recreated.
No, I need an
every
exact
60 to
number, and if you
100
can't give me an exact
That was
number,
the
you lose
exact-
your credibility.
1,000
It's a
cells are
fallacious way of
recreated.
it's a
1,000
fallacious
cells are
way of
recreated every 60 to
No,
1,000.
you don't know the number. No one knows the number. You can't know the number.
Yeah, because I know
the reason
how
I'm
many
pointing it
cells die
out.
off my body because I've taken a basic biology class.
Yeah, I took that whatever
But
25
you
years
can't tell
ago.
me how many ovaries a woman has.
2 ovaries. Listen, I want to go.
Could you?
How many ovaries
does a woman
a woman has? Like 2 ovaries, 3 ovaries, 12 ovaries?
Yeah.
Like, what I want you to understand is someone having the
How many
ability.
terms there are in a,
Hold on
in
a second.
birth? How many trimesters are there in a birth?
3.
Okay.
How many?
How are those ranges split up? How many months are in each term?
Look, the first trimester is your first 12. None of this matters.
Yeah, it does because you're the one standing out here
Here's
with
what
something,
matters.
and you can't even tell me how many ovaries a woman has.
Listen, 2 ovaries.
Ovaries.
Here's what I want you to understand. If I say was an anatomy professor and I could answer all your questions, what would that have to do with anything?
Your ethos.
The
I'm a
no.
political science major. I don't do STEM. I don't do biology. I don't do any.
Good, and you don't need
But
to.
if I'm going to
but
fight
if you
and stand
believe,
as a white male
yes,
on a liberal campus,
if you
and I
believe
can't
that
tell
human
any of
beings
these people
are
how
being
many
oppressed,
ovaries
if
a
you
woman
believe 2 ovaries,
has, 12.
I already said
You
it.
think
I already
women have
said it.
12 ovaries?
No, I said 2,
But-
then I said 12.
Because if you're going to
Yeah,
argue something
because it doesn't
political,
matter.
You need to know anatomy.
Oh, no.
If you're gonna
No.
argue
No.
something about a
Listen,
woman's body, you
please.
should probably know how
Please.
many
Let's
ovaries a
reason.
woman has.
No, let's please reason. An ovary is not a human being. Human beings
Where does a human being grow
are
in the
being
body?
oppressed,
Do you know where
murdered,
a
and
baby
destroyed.
grows?
Human beings are oppressed.
Okay,
yes.
so what
A
part-
class of human beings is specifically
What part is
outlined as
What part is
a
this?
group that you can murder.
Do you know what this is? Do you
That's-
know where this baby is? In
Thi-
the human body. What's
No, this
that?
baby is not in the human body. This baby has been violently removed from the human body. It is in a dish.
Your phone.
It is being examined, and someone is pointing out via scale a number 2 pencil, or it could be a number 3 pencil, but I don't need to know the number of the pencil. This human being is at 7 weeks. It's a general age of an early abortion, first trimester.
You definitely don't want to get into the photo because the photo is
Well, we can use photos on your phone.
no, but the photo is clearly artificial intelligence, including the fact that
No. This photo
this
predates
isn't
AI.
a petri dish.
This photo
plus
predates-
the fact that this wouldn't come out.
Listen,
if
this
you were
photo
to kill a
predates
baby.
all this.
All of this.
You
would
look
be
up on your
inside of
phone,
you.
7-week
This is
human
used for a
fetus.
comparison to show you how big the baby is.
That's exactly what I
There's
just said.
no actual pencil. The baby's not removing.
Can you imagine trying to talk down to somebody and make them feel uneducated and using the word removing? Idiot, this baby's not removing.
Yeah, no.
Because
This
this
is
wouldn't come
this is
out
for
of your
scale.
body
Exactly
if
what
you
I
were
said.
taking
If you get on your
abortion.
phone and you put in 7-week-old human fetus,
Yes, it's very
Right.
small. We agree.
right,
Do you know
and
where
then
this baby
you
grows?
chop them up. It made its way into the uterus, right? So it's conceived in the fallopian tubes, probably up in the ampulla, right? And it moved down into the uterus, was implanted, was obviously growing, and at around 7 weeks of their development, their life was ended by malice aforethought decision to terminate their lives because their mother did not want to remain with child, or the mother and the father together.
And do you know what
So it's an active
trimester of the 7 weeks is in?
first trimester. We already talked about this. It doesn't. It
It does matter because
It
you're
matters.
the one standing
No.
on this
What
campus.
matters?
I should be less educated than you because you're the one making
You
these.
probably are, but I don't want it to make it about
Oh,
that.
right, because I know
Yeah.
how many ovaries in a woman's body. I know where this was conceived.
What
can
I
tell
want to
the
make it
difference
about
between a
is where
baby
you
being in and out of
started.
the womb.
Remember where you started about the right stuff? Abolitionists stand up in cultures where there are human beings who are being dehumanized and destroyed. And they are not being protected with this
But is this your
inalienable
right?
equality
Is this
that
your
we're
right?
supposed to have.
Again,
My right is to advocate for my neighbors.
your neighbors.
Yeah,
This is
my,
your neighbor?
my fellow man.
Do you
Yes,
have children?
yes, I do.
What makes you think you have the right to argue against women about their own bodies and
Well, I'm not arguing with women about their
Again, your
bodies.
ethos.
It's the
You
body
are.
inside of their body who is a
That
fellow
involves the
human being,
female body.
and that human being can be murdered. And I don't think that that's right or just. If we're going to have laws against murder, they should be applied equally to all people.
What makes
Just as you
you
point
think
out
that
that the slave wasn't properly protected, and there needed to be abolitionists
But
who
they
stood
could
up.
speak for themselves.
The
and
preborn
white males
child-
did not speak up for them. You claim
No, we
that
already
white
talked about it. We already talked
spoke
about
up
it.
For Black African
Yes.
Americans,
Yes, they did.
completely undermines the ability of those minority groups.
No. It's
Lynchings
perfectly
on
fine
lynchings,
for
political
white
debates,
Americans
sit-ins,
who thought
deaths
slavery
of
was
hundreds.
wrong to stand up. No,
To get their rights.
It's doing
that
both
doesn't
ways.
even include everybody from Asian American groups who also had the largest mass lynching in the United States.
Yeah.
7 of
Also
them all
wrong,
hung
right?
About
Also wrong.
2 hours from
Also
here
wrong,
in
right?
Chinatown, right?
And when
Those
you
people
stand up
could speak
against it,
for
that's right.
themselves. You and a
Yeah.
group of white males were the ones to repress those voices.
To
in the
repress
first
them?
place. Now,
I don't win
that
arguments
these
by
individuals-
pointing out when people misspeak, but
now,
you use
when
a
these
different word there.
individuals do have their rights, and we have decent
It was okay for
reparations.
black and
We've
white
targeted
abolitionists, male and
gender.
female, to
You
stand up
repress
for
our voice,
the
her
rights.
voice,
No, it's not to
her
repress your voice.
Their voice.
exactly what
You have a voice.
Yeah, because
you actually
you-
you actually have more rights than I
And
do,
so did
because
Black
you
African
you have the
Americans,
right to
so did
terminate your
Chinese
children,
Americans, so
and
did
I do
Asian
not.
Americans. They all had voices,
That single
and
right makes us
they
have
were
more rights.
repressed.
It's one more right.
One-
Mothers in this country have special rights to terminate the children
So
in
then
their
is the
womb.
wage gap
in
your
the
one more
event,
right?
Are inferior
Is the
to
wage gap
females?
your one more
no,
right
I don't think
then?
anyone's inferior to anyone. I think we're all equal.
Well, what about wage gap? That equals us out again. Wage gap is a beneficial right to you.
Yeah, I'm not.
And
I'm
also,
not
again, you
arguing
already-
about
you
wage
already
gaps.
agreed
I'm
to the
saying
fact
there
that
is a
you never had
specific
rights in the first
there is a
place. You've always had
specific
them.
human group in our culture that is deprived of the right to life. If we could have actual equality and bring all human beings under the same laws, so the laws protecting you from murder were applied to everyone who was a human being, that would be a just
What
society.
makes you think that is
And
a
it wouldn't hurt
viable
women.
living thing?
Well, it's viable in the one place it's viable, and that is the womb. At 7
know
weeks,
the
the
pain-
only
Makes the
place.
baby viable.
Do you know the
fetus
pain
viable.
level of a
The
penis
baby
at 7
is
weeks?
alive. No pain. I don't think they have the nerve endings for that.
They don't at all.
But murder isn't murder
Equivalent
because
to
it's painful.
Pulsating. It's not the
Equivalent
Yes.
to picking off.
I know, but as I've said, it's
From
a
a
human
stem.
being.
Equivalent
There
to
are
picking
some
off a
humans
leaf from
that
a
don't have the
stem.
ability to feel
Is the-
pain
is the
because of a
nerve
genetic
endings these-
mutation in their
these
development. They can't feel
individuals
pain.
have.
But if you murdered them, it would still be murder. It's taking a human being who is alive and then making them
Their heart
dead.
is not fully developed yet. They're not.
They
they're
are.
living.
Are they alive or are they
They
dead?
don't have pain.
Are they
don't
alive or
have
are they dead?
nerve
Let's just go slow. Are they alive or are they dead? I'm not asking about nerve endings. Are they alive or are they dead?
They're literally dead. They're forming human beings.
Do they
They're
exist?
not alive until they
become
actually
conscious.
create a brain.
Well,
a heart,
why do you have
and
to
a
abort
pain
them if
nerve-
they're not alive?
Because they're going to become alive.
No, they're
Do you understand
alive.
that?
They're
Pain
living.
doesn't exist in the
They're
first trimester, so if you
developing.
take them out by the first trimester.
They're developing.
There's
Interesting
no-
argument.
There's no harm.
They're
There's no
developing
pain
in the womb
in the
where
first
they're supposed to
trimester.
develop. Where you
Then if you
developed, where
abort
you
them in the
developed,
second
where he
trimester,
developed, where we
third
all
trimester.
developed. All of us have this human experience in common. We developed in the womb.
But we were
also
all not
developed
alive
outside of
until
the
the
womb.
third trimester.
We couldn't live on our own until we were 5, but we could live in this specific environment, nurtured by our mother,
We're not alive
via
in the first trimester.
the processes designed in her body to do that. And if you don't arrest them by chemical abortion or surgical abortion, they will continue to live. That is precisely where what's that?
Chemical abortion? Can you explain the processes of chemical abortion to us?
It's the main primary way that abortions happen.
it?
Yeah, by taking misoprostol and mifepristone.
Mr. Prestone?
mifepristol.
Misoprostol. Okay, so explain
Yeah,
to us
and
what misoprostol
mifepristone.
does.
So you take two drugs. One kills the child, and the other contracts the uterus, expelling the body.
and is this
so there's no
accessible
infection.
to the general public within, like, let's say,
Yes.
a Vons or a 7-Eleven?
No, you can order them on your phone right now, and they'll be to you in 3 days. Actually, you can get them way quicker if you need them.
Yeah.
So, neither of you have had an
administer
abortion?
this to ourselves.
Neither of you have been with child, said, I'm not ready to be with child?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to ask. You don't have to answer, but I can
our
ask.
privacy is our privacy.
Yeah, and you
our
can keep it-
bodies are our bodies.
You can keep it
You
secret.
asking
But I'm
us
saying, like,
if
you
we've
didn't
had
know
abortions
what a chemical abortion
as a,
was.
45-year-old male asking
Yeah.
us if we've
It's
had
perfectly
abortions.
okay if you
normal
don't answer.
I'm 18.
I'm
you're
19.
Yeah, it's okay if you don't
Have we
answer,
had
but it's okay if I
abortions?
ask.
No, of course we haven't.
You can
But
ask
again,
me if I had an
even if we
abortion.
did,
You can ask me if I've had
personal
miscarriages,
You,
all sorts
you
of
don't
stuff.
have a uterus. You
This
can't
is
have
why
a
it doesn't
miscarriage
involve you
I've
at
lost 2
all.
children in the womb. Yes, I have.
from abortion.
No, from miscarriage.
Yes, and that's a whole
So
thing.
my
Miscarriage-
wife and I have suffered the
and
loss
I'm so
of children
sorry,
in the
but
womb.
things like
And
this
it is
doesn't-
tragic,
it's a
but we didn't
completely
intend to
different
do it. Why is
Do
it
you
tragic?
think females are content? Like,
Hold
do
on,
you
why
think
is a
you're
miscarriage
happy
tragic?
Because
Why?
there was like a fatal
was-
malformation with the baby.
But why is it tragic? Is it because someone died? Is it because Jane, my daughter, died when she was 6 weeks old? That's why it's tragic, because I lost a child.
I think
It's
it's also
tragic
tragic
But
for
someone
yourself.
else-
Your choice. But
someone
somebody who
else
makes that choice,
chooses it, and it's not
So let me
tragic. It
ask
should be
you-
celebrated.
Let me
So many
ask.
different reasons.
You're
didn't
older.
have
You
the
have.
choice.
There's all
you
sorts
have
of
the
reasons
money,
to
right?
murder other people. That doesn't make it valid, just
Say
having reasons.
that a woman who is choosing to abort her child carries through with the birth instead because she's forced to, because she can't get an abortion, and that child is birthed into poverty, into homelessness.
Like they would have been better off dead.
No, I'm not saying they'd be better
We're
off
saying
dead, but I'm saying they'd
with
grow up as
you-
a child that's not supported.
With
Yeah.
you,
The woman
who has.
And there are lots
has
of children in
money,
our culture
you know.
who are not supported. They have rough, terrible lives, and we could actually look at them. Like you could look at a newborn, for instance, and you could look at their situation and their family, and you could say, you are going to have a terrible, awful life. I'm just going to put a pillow over your face and press down for the next minute.
Well, that's somebody who's alive.
No, but
as
the
a
logic of what
child.
you're arguing,
No,
if
no.
abortion is
'Cause this thing
justified
doesn't have pain.
on account,
A child suffocating a child is
You
a
could give-
completely different argument.
yeah, you could give the
That's a
newborn,
toddler.
you could
You're
give the
arguing
newborn,
killing a
you could
toddler.
give the newborn
This
drugs,
has the
passing them
pain
out,
of
they
a
don't feel
leaf.
anything, and
Of
you
a-
could kill
of a
them.
leaf. Of a leaf.
Yeah.
It's inappropriate.
What's inappropriate? Standing up
This
for little
whole thing
children?
is so inappropriate because suffocating
It's not
a
appropriate.
child, a toddler,
Abolitionists
is much different than
are
something
going
who
to
has
stand
the
up in
pain
cultures
equivalent
where
to a leaf.
people dehumanize and destroy human beings, and they're going to run into this situation until we achieve equality for all humans.
And so if
and
this
in
right-
every age, there's a different kind of evil. And in every age, there's a different kind of proponent for that
Yeah, of
evil.
course.
And you're
Also, do you
and you're making
understand-
Explain this sign?
Do you understand that?
certainly.
I did not see that sign before.
It's so a lot of people say, you know,
So we agree with the condone of rape as well.
well, no, that's only if you can't read.
My God.
Which of these human beings was conceived in rape?
And which of these
one?
children does not have the rights to live? Do you understand the rhetorical
Sorry, you
use of these
arguing
words?
pro-
So
rape
a
or
woman is
anti-rape?
forced to
I believe
live
rape
with
is a
her
capital
trauma
crime and should be
forever?
punished with
And
death.
so do you believe the child is also okay?
I believe a child conceived in rape is fully human, ought to be loved, protected. You don't?
Oh, I
But
just
what if
find
she
you
can't?
dis-
There are rape conceived human beings on this campus. Are you saying that they don't?
Their mothers may have not had a choice.
You have no consideration for the mother at all. It's
No, so
only the child.
so
Yeah, what
That's
about
the point of the
of the
sign
child?
You
for
have a
people
wife. How do you have a
for
wife?
people who
think
have the
they'd
ability
like
to
to see the face
process
of their rapist in that
arguments and
child?
reason,
Do you think
it's
they
saying
want to
you
see the
can't
face
tell.
and the eyes of their rapist in
Yeah.
their own child?
I don't know if they want to see
The
it.
eyeballs of the man who raped them.
No, that what they want is to punish the rapist, right? And not the child, if they're just. Because the rapist committed a crime.
Is the government going to fund these children?
See,
is the government going to fund
as
these
someone
children?
who
Are they gonna
knows the
give them
mothers
healthcare?
of children
Are they gonna
conceived
give
in
them
rape,
medication
I
in a
don't
capitalist
I don't
America?
look at little babies and think of them as rape spawn or
I don't either.
rapists
Just
to see
the
it.
eyeballs of the man who raped them in
Yeah.
their own child. That's
Or
not what
see them
we're
as
arguing.
rapists.
But I do
Yeah, I
look
know.
at women
The
who
mothers
have
of
been
rape
raped
conceived children
and
don't think of
understand
it that
they
way
have a
either.
choice.
When my decisions violate another human being, like so whenever a man chooses
Oh,
to rape
like
a
when you rape a
woman,
woman, but-
he is violating.
When a man decides to rape
Whenever-
a woman, he is violating the rights of a woman. Then tell me what this sign says.
This has nothing to do with the sign. The sign that she's holding is actually
Thank you.
saying that children conceived in rape are valuable image bearers,
They
just
are
like
valuable
children's.
people, but that doesn't mean that a woman.
All right, notice
should
real
lose
quick
her
that she held a
rights to be
sign
female.
making a point about how rape-conceived children are every bit as human and ought to be loved equally with all other humans, because you can't tell the difference between a rape-conceived person and a non-rape conceived person, right? You can't tell. So the point of the sign is that we can't determine whether someone lives or dies based on their conception.
It's her choice either way.
But you held the sign as if it had something to do with your point.
Non-raped woman.
What's that?
No one is agreeing with you.
No one agrees with me?
Wrong place to go.
You're literally in Southern California.
It's a-
All to be here.
We
Yeah.
vote blue.
Like, who's all
If I
believe in
thought you all agreed with me, I wouldn't be here, right?
You're too old to be here.
Because abolitionists are going to stand up for justice and mercy and try to change the hearts and minds of the people who are oppressing other people.
Hearts and minds of
In
women.
the 19th century, when abolitionists stood up for the rights of slaves, they were not loved or appreciated or popular. People told them, go home. Stop telling us about freedom for the slaves. They're our property, my plantation, my prerogative. And they were completely on property. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So simply having a perspective that is not agreed upon by the masses does not make you wrong.
Yeah, well, a lot of
It's-
women.
you know,
women believe
your
they had-
ageism is
they weren't
unsurprising.
Popular with the masses.
Yeah,
Why
so
do you think I'm here?
I'm
not
about the
popular
age
with
of
the
many of
masses.
her.
Yes, because young, immodestly dressed women are famously not popular with the masses.
If your argument against me is simply that I'm too old to be here, and that is the height of your argument, then you don't have an argument. If I were a female and I were 22 years old saying the same thing, for instance,
I'm not listening.
she agrees with me, right? I know, you're closed-minded. Don't talk. I don't want to hear. You want to oppress and tell me where to go. Yeah, I won't. But I do understand what it means to be human, and that human beings ought to be treated fairly and equally, and the laws protecting you from murder should be applied to all of the other humans. You were not murdered when you were in the womb.
But if I'm raped, it's fair for me to keep a child that wasn't on my terms.
No, when you were raped, it's fair to protect you and have compassion and do everything in our power to help you. But we can't, for instance, inequality would be anyone who's raped, therefore has to be murdered.
Right, but I'm protecting something that is a reminder of me being raped.
So,
Does that make sense to you?
yeah, but you being reminded of something doesn't mean you can kill that person.
But it's not cute. You can't have a death certificate.
Yeah, having a death certificate does not determine your rights or your humanity or your dignity. Because if it could, we would just deprive the slaves of their certificates and justify what they did, which is what people did.
Need a birth
What
certificate.
rights does it have when it's not born?
It's just a human being. It has the right to life. It has the right to just be left alone, right?
I have the right to do whatever I want.
No, mothers should not have the right. This is the question. Mothers should not have the right to determine if their children live or die. We do believe that on born children. We just need to extend it
That
to
version
preborn
of
children.
abortion.
Respectfully, I'm a baby. I thought it was the best thing for myself.
Yeah, I think a lot of us.
Yeah, and that's why it's child sacrifice. I believe that we should have equality of rights, that we should show the same love and care and protection to all people, especially the people who are deprived of those rights in our laws.
Okay, so what about
Because
all of the
our
minority
practices,
groups? Shouldn't we come first?
you cannot actually kill minorities simply because they're minorities.
Yeah, but you can't stop my
In fact,
freedom of speech.
like,
stop
who-
my
like-
choices. You can deport me from.
Yes,
my
I can.
own
Yes.
country.
And you agree with
my
me.
color.
The reason I was going to ask about rape is we agree that rapists should be prohibited from doing with their bodies whatever they want. Because we believe that there are violations of other people's autonomy, of their bodies. So rape is wrong because it's a vicious, violent act of one person who's stronger in a position of power over another person. Abortion is wrong for precisely the same reason. It's one person who is stronger, powerful, who can make decisions to unalive their own child,
One had pain.
who puts their desires before the desires of their baby.
I'm not breaking any laws in California.
Exactly. That's why we would want to change the laws.
It's not going to change.
Just like, say we had a law allowing you to chattel people, allowing you to...
We literally did that.
We did.
We literally did.
And who changed those laws?
Not white males.
No, who changed those laws? Who stood up for those laws?
Minority group.
And what was the experience of the abolitionist who stood up in a culture that practiced and protected slavery? What was their experience? It was this experience.
Yeah.
When
We
the
as
abolitionists
women sat here,
stood up.
and we got laughed at, we got ridiculed, we got yelled at, we got shit thrown at us. And now
So-
you're here asking for rights that aren't yours.
So-
we have stood here. We
so-
have raised our signs. We have been loud. We have protested.
It's all very interesting.
Why do you think we got a choice?
It's all very interesting, but
And
to
now
make
you're
it connected
here
to what I'm
literally
saying
trying to get
is if
rights
you're
that you
wondering
never protested
why
for.
is it okay for someone to
You can even
stand
help
up
us get that
for the
in the first
particular group of humans who can be legally murdered, and what is their experience in a culture that is practicing a grave dehumanizing evil, it is going to be extremely unpopular to stand up against it. That is the experience of the abolitionist. It was very unpopular to stand there and say that slaveholding is a crime and that it should be punished. It was extremely unpopular. If you went on a college campus,
View with you white males. So do you still feel
if you
like
went on a college
abolitionists
campus
with rights
advocating
that
for the
aren't
abolition of slavery back in the 1830s, 40s, this is what happened to you. Because the predominant view in their culture is the African slave is property, and that you can't tell a person what to do with their property. And they also argued it's better off if they're enslaved. They also argued if we free them, there's going to be a situation. Manly.
Good for you.
You eat burgers with lettuce? You think that's killing the lettuce? Do you feel bad for the lettuce?
Some arguments aren't actually worth dealing with. You should be ashamed. So when I eat a burger with lettuce, I'm eating a cow, right? I'm not eating a human. So yeah, and lettuce is not a human either. So for those of us who can distinguish between a human and a non-human, which all of us generally can, except for in the case where we get wrapped up in an argument and we're failing so hard that we have to reach down deep and go crazy.
Like at the end of the day, like let's think about this from like a good standpoint for a moment. You are a grown-ass man without a womb talking to people about what they do with their body.
Do you have a womb?
Crazy. No, that's why I
I
don't
do.
get a
So why are you allowed to say
That's why I'm here.
this
and that's
opinion?
Why you shouldn't
I think you have a valid right to give an opinion because right.
Yeah,
So
just-
I'm speaking up for humans.
Yeah, but we are
So I'm listen.
We're speaking up for
I don't know
us.
how many of y'all are Christians or not Christians, but I'm a
It doesn't
Christian,
matter our
right?
religious group. We're
So
calling religion.
no, I'm just telling you about
There's
myself.
no way.
So I'm a Christian. I believe that as a Christian, I'm to love God with all my heart, soul, and mind, and to love my neighbor as myself. I believe my neighbors are all human beings. I believe that Christ himself actually came here to die and save me from my sin. When Christ came here, I believe he left heaven and entered the womb of a woman, and from his conception on, developed in the womb. He identified with all human beings. So I therefore love my neighbor as myself, and I want to do for them what I would want done for me. There's a law protecting me from murder. Like someone here may want me dead. But you know what? They don't do it because they would get in trouble. I would like that same law that keeps me from being murdered by enlightened college students like yourself to be applied to the preborn human. It's that simple.
Do you have any woman standing with you? That would
Well, she's with me. She came with me today, but she's filming.
But she's hiding behind the camera, so she just...
Oh, she's hiding behind a camera?
Is there any woman
Hey,
out
let's
there?
not diss any women that are working today.
We're not dissing women. Trust me, buddy, I'm not dissing women. I love women.
Calm
I
down.
love female rights. I promise.
Calm down, please.
I promise. Oh, you calm down. You're the 45-year-old who's on a college.
I know, it's just my sign. You just calm
Yeah,
down.
no, I
I don't like
think
the
all
whole
your signs
I don't
are
like the
wrong.
whole rage baiting thing. Like I just like to be chill.
Why the hell are you here?
To talk.
Then why are
College
you-
campus in California.
To converse.
Yeah.
Like,
What's wrong with California? Is California immune to discussions?
If we were rage baiting you, this is like a lot different.
So, I bet you that you value free speech.
Of course.
I bet you value
your right to
discourse.
have beliefs.
I bet you value debate.
100%.
I bet you think yourself as someone who would be on the side of a minority.
Yes.
So I'm a minority here, right?
You're not though.
No, ideologically
if you were
speaking.
the minority, abortion would be illegal in every single state.
No, ideologically speaking, I am in a minority. These are words that can be used.
As a white male, you're in a minority. Tell me what minority group that is.
All right, so let me break these down word for word. I said, ideologically speaking, I am in a minority. The word minority can be used to denote a smaller number. No. Right? So here, if you were to take up a survey, my view is the minor position. That's how I'm using the word minor. Right. So I am a person vocalizing a minority view with my freedom of speech. Now, if I were arguing for something that you agreed with, you'd be perfectly fine with the fact that I was 45. It would be fine that I was a male. It'd be fine that I was white.
I don't think that you're a male because this is
It's the issue that I'm arguing for that you have a problem with, and since you can't argue.
When I asked how many ovaries a woman had, he looked me dead in the eye. He said, I don't know, maybe 4 to 12.
2 ovaries.
4 to 12 ovaries. I don't got 4 to 12 ovaries.
My aim would be to
That's why it's a
attempt
problem
to
you're a male.
persuade either you or those who see our discussion. That would be my aim.
Yeah.
Okay, that is our aim to
persuade
because that
you.
is how
Yeah.
debate works.
Well, persuade me. I believe in human
We've
rights.
been trying. That's
Okay?
why there's so many people
Persuade me
that
not.
talk you into common
Persuade
sense
me
about
not to
rights
believe
that
in
aren't
human
yours.
rights.
Okay, have you ever been a woman who has been raped? Answer me that,
No.
yes or no.
No.
Then why the fuck do you get to decide? Then why do you get to choose?
You're trying to persuade me, right? I hold the view that human beings, as human beings, should not be murdered, and that no other human has the right to murder other humans. You need to persuade me that my view is wrong. By telling me that I don't have a uterus, something that I already know, it's not going to persuade me. It's funny, whenever you're having like a deep argument about human rights and you get to the impasse of, holy smokes, it is a human in the womb. I do claim to believe in human rights, but I'm also...
Don't have a birth certificate. Don't.
Does anyone here
no
think
brain, no
that,
blood.
does anyone, just
No
quick,
brain, no blood.
does anyone here
No
think that the possession of a birth certificate is what determines your
You
humanity?
can't have a birth certificate without a death certificate.
Really quick, I just want to know what's the level of
Yeah,
engagement
ask the
here?
public, ask the
We will.
Can I mention something?
Is your humanity predicated on the possession of a birth certificate? Yes?
Because like when you become born,
You think, okay, so there are people, hundreds of millions of people, right, who do not have the kind of birth certificate you have. You saying they are
Having a birth
not human.
certificate within the states is the only reason that you're not, discriminated against, deported, or put in a concentration camp.
I'm just telling you, you know whenever your argument,
They don't have
you can't
US
argue for the
citizenship.
thing you're arguing for.
They
We have to
don't have
dig so
unalienable
deep
rights.
that your argument is based
And
on
any minority
whether
group
or
doesn't
not you
either, not if you
possess
don't have
a
a
piece
birth
of paper
certificate.
from a
So what's the
current
difference
government.
between, me as
That is very
my
bad
age, being
because
a different
oppressors
color, and,
who have
not
been
having
dealing with other
citizenship, not having a
countries
birth
will do
certificate,
things like
getting thrown
rob
in
them
a
of documents in order to
concentration
justify
camp. But this thing has more
dehumanizing
rights
them and
than
destroying
you.
them.
But the thing is what I'm wanting you to understand is that our rights are not from documents. They're not from birth certificates, and they're not from laws.
What's the Bill of Rights?
It's from our actual
Not from
humanity.
Congress. What is the Bill of Rights?
It's our being.
Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights.
Ontologically,
Literally a
our
document that
being
provides us,
is
the minority
human.
groups, right.
And a human has the right to life.
Yeah, and
Because no human has the right to murder another human, because humans are made in the image of God. That's just basic biological and ontological reality. We all say, who believes in equality? Like, who believes in human equality?
Literally
And
a
justice.
huge sin.
Who believes in human equality, social justice, empathy, and
who also
loving your
believes in
neighbor?
speaking like as though he was
Because if you believe those things
is literally
and believe in abortion, you are contradicting yourself. Your problem isn't with me. Your problem is with your own statements.
Look, my problems aren't with me. It's
You-
the fact that you're holding the sign. So, look. I
This
didn't
particular
start
sign, or which one do you like?
I actually, you know, my favorite is the
They're
one
what?
we haven't seen yet.
This one?
The red one.
So this is women are not.
Nope, the
This
other
is
one. Flip it all the way.
the red one?
Let's go to the final
This
sign.
this one?
Yes.
All right.
Our neighbors. Our
Every
children, our
child
neighbors.
murdered by abortion is your neighbor. So this
Okay, so I
sign.
would like to ask a question about this sign.
Okay.
Right. So we've agreed. Humanity, at least for babies, is not. We don't need documents, correct? Right. We don't need a birth.
That's not where your humanity comes from.
We don't need a birth certificate.
If you were born in the woods and no one ever knew, you would be a
Yes,
baby.
yes.
You're a human, like
If a
anyone
tree
else.
fell next to you, it would make a sound.
Right. No documents. Yes.
Yeah,
So
completely
why
different.
has 300,000, please search this data, 300 and 600,000 immigrants without U.S. citizenship, without legal birth certificates, been taken from our country, half of them being murdered, raped, sexual assaulted, stripped of their humanity.
All right, real quick
What's
check.
that? Why do I at
Was
my
that
right
150
age, 19,
was that
have to vote the
150,000?
opposite direction from
So
us?
300,000,
I don't-
half
if
of
my
them are
humanity is
murdered?
not defined on documentation, my birth certificate, or my citizenship. Why do I have to run the opposite way from law enforcement? Because that's what defines my humanity. These things should not have more humanity than us. Because though it feels the pain of a leaf being plucked from the stem, a girl getting raped, strangled, and then killed with knives, pencils, or even the own hands of any gender, not just males, but any gender, should actually face justice. And they should actually get a choice. Because that is what defines your humanity, whether it's right or wrong. Your citizenship, your documentation is what gives you humanities within these states. If these individuals do not have it, they too should have to face those injustices. And they should not get more rights in that womb than I do for something that I have to carry to term and that I have to carry for 9 months in my own body.
So
It's nice to meet you.
so
And I hope you now
So
enjoy the new crowd because, originally
I
it was two of
appreciate
us.
you.
I appreciate you
I
guys
appreciate
for
you.
trying to bring somebody to some common sense because
I wish you would
the
stay
United
because
States
I want
is
clarification on your
and
speech.
it's an oppressive place, especially when white males run the top 1%, run propaganda, and run the government.
So-
Do not give this white male more rights than your own bodies. Thank you, guys.
So the problem is actually she said a bunch of stuff. It didn't actually particularly make much sense.